Good afternoon. My name is Nicolas Paez, Nico Paez for friends. I think that I should speak in English because it's an international conference. So please forgive me, my English is not so good. I will do my best. So, well, I will try to talk about Pharo customization. And let's start by setting the expectations. If you are not familiar with Pharo, okay, that is the right place to start. If you are already familiar with Pharo, well, it's possible that you get bored because I won't show advanced things, right? I will show just little details that can be useful for you if you are starting. I will show how to adjust the environment to make fit your habits, right? For example, if you are an Eclipse developer and you are jumping into Pharo, well, I will show you how to adjust some things to make it similar in some aspects to Eclipse or other integrated development environments, right? So maybe if you are advanced, you should go to the other talk, right? So let's start, and this is just a few tips regarding how I use Pharo. So this is the agenda I will follow, right? I will talk about images, demo mode, code completion, look and feel, Word, and the window manager, right? So we should start by saying that if you are starting with Pharo, there are two images that you can use. But before this, let's make another question. How many of you are currently using Pharo? Okay. And how many of you are starting or met Pharo a year ago, for example, or less? Okay. Well, I think that it can be good. So, if you are starting with Pharo, you already know, or maybe you don't, that there are two images. When you start, you download the virtual machine, and you have to download an image. First of all, you have to choose what version do you want to use, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. And after you have decided what version you want to use, then you have to choose what taste of the image you want. You can use the core image or the development image. And the difference is in the tools that you will have available in the image, right? If you use the core image, you will see that there are many things missing there, right? And of course, it's a smaller image. If you use the development image, you will see that there are many more things available. So that's the first choice that you have to do. And this will change. I've been talking with some guys from the Pharo core team, and they told me that starting on version 1.4, there will only be just one image. You will have a development image with all the stuff loaded, and then you will be able to disable certain things if you are not happy with them, right? That is my case. For example, most of the time I work with the core image because I don't like some stuff like code completion and that kind of things. But after a while, after maybe 6 months of working with Pharo, I found how to disable code completion. So that was a great step for me. So I will share that with you. So let's start with something very useful. Let me tell you something about me. I use Pharo at the university. I teach object-oriented programming using Pharo, right? So all the time I'm showing Pharo and sharing my desktop with my students and showing code in a situation similar like this. So one of the first things I need to do is to enlarge fonts, right? Because this is a huge screen, but imagine in a classroom the screen is not so big. So if you have somebody who is sit in the atrás, in the bottom, I don't know how to say, in the back of the classroom, he won't be able to see these tiny fonts. So I'm not happy with the microphone, right? Let's see if I can manage to put this here. Okay, great. So first thing, demo mode. So there are different options to enable demo mode. One could be you can open a workspace and type something like demo settings, setting style, new, load. I think that it's something like this, and you execute this, and something should happen. Okay, and this is the demo mode, right? With much bigger fonts. Good. It worked. So clapping, it worked. Thank you. Just to set the expectations, sometimes when I perform this kind of demos, things go wrong. So just to be aware. Well, but the problem with this is that you have to remember that sentence, that expression. So the other option is here. You just go to System, Settings, and here is something called Style, and you can load a new style, right? Default, and we go back. I think that this menu is not very intuitive, right? It took me some time to find it. Something interesting is that most of the things that I'm showing are on the web, right? You can just Google, and in particular, you can go to the Pharo Active book, the collaborator book, and then you will find many of these things. Well, let's go back to the demo style. Okay. Well, this is the first step. Let's continue. Let's see what other thing we have. Oh, the second one is code completion. As I told you before, I don't like this feature, right? You start typing things, and Pharo tries to suggest you something, right? This is very common for people working with Eclipse or Visual Studio. The environment is always suggesting you what do you want to type. I don't like that kind of things. I want to do it myself. If you are used to program with V, for example, or Emacs, you know what I mean. You want to do it yourself, right? So one thing that you could want to do is just disable these suggestions, right? For example, transcript. What the hell is this? I don't like this. So let's try to disable this. Again, you will see that most of the things are available in the settings browser, right? But as you can see, there are many things there, and maybe they are not very intuitive, right? So O-completion is the feature that we are talking about. And here we have many options, right? So one thing that we will do is just disable code completion, right? And we get an error, right? It's just that, an error. Let's see what happened there. Maybe it took effect or maybe not. Oh, this is the stable image, right? 1.3. Till last week, I've been working with 1.2. Okay, it seems that it works. So let's try it. Let's see what happened here. Another browser, another workspace. Okay, it's working because it's not suggesting me nothing, right? So good. Bien, good. Let's continue. The other thing is smart characters. I don't know if you are familiar with this. Have you ever heard about this? Okay, some advanced guys there, but not most of you. I think that when I disable code completion, I also disable smart characters. So I will enable code completion again, because there are two different things, right? I have to show this way. Code completion is enabled. When all completion is enabled, and you type, for example, bracket, it completes with the other bracket, right? The same when you use a comma, it completes with the other one. This feature is called smart characters. And if you want to use it, you have to have the code completion enabled. But maybe you want code completion, but you don't want these smart characters, right? So you can disable just the smart characters. And of course, it's just a setting here. Smart characters, goodbye. Another error. I don't know what's happening here, because it is the standard image. Highlight, well, I don't know, I won't debug this now. Let's see if it works. Oh, it worked. You can see I put the opening and the close does not can. So it is working. Thank you, thank you. I love you. Good. Okay, I have 15 minutes left. Good. We are in good shape. Let's continue. Look and feel. Well, this is another thing that could be interesting. So, the first things that you may want to do is, for example, put a nice picture in the background, right? So for that, I have something prepared here. I don't know if you're familiar with this tool called Script Manager. It's very useful when you have to perform this kind of presentations, or if you have to teach, for example, you can have all your code snippets inside this. So in this case, I have my code snippet to set the background image. It's very simple, just this code. So we have to say the word, what is the background image we want, and we have to use the image reader writer to perform the load. I have a prepared image here, resources / Pharo 2 GPE. I think that this is the name. Let me check. Yes, it is there. Okay, let's see what happened. Evaluate this, and it is there. Good, good again. Well, another thing to do, for example, let's continue with, oops, where it is, okay. Oh, here is my script manager. You can add a logo, discard the changes. For example, I have this already prepared, but let's show how it works. I set the background image, but this Pharo here is not a background image. It's just a logo that has been put there. In the same way, I will do it with another logo here. Yeah, you can see it? I just load it, and I can put it where I want. The issue is that, as you can see, I want this. Okay, clap. Okay. I would like this logo to behave the same way that this one, that cannot be, how to say, dragged. I don't know the word. Well, you know, I can move this around and not this one. So I want my new logo to have the same behavior. So I have to perform that operation. I don't have code. I mean, I'm sure that there is code to perform that operation, but I didn't research because I'm a mouse lover. So I'm happy using the mouse instead of typing. So to do that, I have to, this is the way I do it. I don't know, maybe there is another way or a better way, but this works for me. And I come here and I say, resist being picked. And can you see? I cannot move it around. And that's all. Claps again. Thank you. Okay. I have one more thing to show, but I'm not sure it will work. It's something complex. And the problem is that it requires connectivity. This code snippet, or you can call it magic, it just connects to this location on the web and start grabbing images and set those images as background, right? So it also starts a timer and it treats the image every 1 minute, I think. Here, can you see? 1 minute delay, wait, and it repeats. So it tries to grab the image, wait 1 minute, and get another image. We have connectivity. It's not very good, but we can try it, right? So let's see what happens. I already executed, and now we should just wait, and if it is working, the background image will change in 1 minute. If not, I think that we will get an error, something like no connectivity or something like that. So let's continue, and if you see that the background changed, well, it worked, right? This magic code is available on the collaborator book, right? So you can grab it from there. I don't know if it is a good idea to have it running when you are working, because it's like a background thread that is all the time working. So I don't know, depending on what you are doing, maybe you want to change your background image or maybe not. So let's continue with other features. So look and feel. Another thing interesting is the browser. As Marcus mentioned a minute ago, there are several browsers out there. When you download the image, you have just two, right? In the development image, you have the Omni browser, that is the one that it is here. That, well, this is not the Omni browser, I think. I think that is just the system browser because I don't see some things. Well, no matter. You can have multiple browsers installed in your image, right? And you can set one as default. The way of doing that is just come here and say, choose new default browser. And let's use this OB system browser adapter. That seems to be this, right? Because can you see it? Can you see the difference? It's this search toolbar, right? So you can search for classes here, right? And the other interesting thing are the icons that when we are in demo mode are not available. Or some of them are. For example, can you see this arrow? This indicates that this method has been defined in ancestor class, right? But for certain classes, we have another fancy icons that I think that are only loaded when we are outside the demo mode. Can you see announcements has another fancy icon there? So in some occasions, it can be useful. Of course, and we will have a session tomorrow, I think, that will show how to create your own browser, and it could be an interesting point to know how to enable your browser once you have built it. So the way of changing the default browser is this one, right? Of course, that all this stuff can be done just by code. Just open a workspace and type in things there. But, well, you have to know what are the classes involved in that, right? Okay. I think that the image switcher didn't work. I will try it again because I want to show it. Okay. The problem is that the way the code is written in that part does not show the errors, right? Just drop the exception and continues working. Well, just 2 or 3 more things. The word menu, this is something interesting. Maybe there are some tools that you use frequently. For example, when I teach, I use the transcript all the time just to show some things. But if you see, the transcript is not in the first level of the menu. You have to go to Tools, and then you have to come here and select Transcript. Or maybe you want to modify that, and you want to add some features here, right, in the first level menu. So that's an easy way of doing that. But I will do like, there's a famous character here in Argentina that cooks. Maybe you know, I think that Narda Lepes, you know her. She shows how to cook. And she starts cooking, and she prepares something, and then stand by and bring the pie already done, right? That's a good technique when you perform demos. So I've been doing that, right? And this is what I'm going to do right now. I have all the code that I need in one file here, and I will just file in this, and then we will review the code, right? So just drag this here, file in. This just added 2 classes to my image, but now you can see that I have a transcript right here. Good. And it works. And thank you. And another thing I have here is the demo mode on-off. Interesting feature, right? So we are back. Hey, you're supposed to be back. Okay. No demo, and now yes demo. Good. So, thank you. So let's see what's the code I added here. Well, I can show you because I don't know where those classes are, but are the same that are prepared here in my script manager. There are 2 classes. One is the menu extender class, and I will explain briefly how to add items to that menu. You just need to create a class, the name you want. There's no restriction about that. The magic is here. This magic word between brackets, between angular brackets, right? Word menu. So you define a method, and you add this stuff between angular brackets that's called a pragma, right? Pragma is the name? I confuse with C, but it's pragma, right? Yeah, it's a pragma, right? And when you add this to the method, you automatically will receive a builder that is the object that will allow you to insert new stuff in the menu, right? So in this case, I just added this class, and when I load the class, Pharo is smart and detect that this class has this pragma here, and call the method, and allowed me to modify the menu. So I just say that I want a new item called transcript, and I define the action that I want to be performed when the item is selected. I say just the icon I want to associate with that new menu item, and I say where I want to place this option, right? In this case, I decided to put it on the most used tools, right? And the same thing I did with this other item that is the demo mode on-off. In this occasion, I'm telling that this is the class. Now I'm going to review this other class. Yeah, and of course the same icon. And I didn't specify where I want to put it, so by default, well, it is on the place that you already seen. So let's see what this class do. It's very, very simple. Just store a flag to know what is the current mode, right? So let me open this. Again, I have here the flag that is telling me what is the current mode, and as you can imagine, well, I have an initialize there that is initialized with the default style, and then the toggle method that just switch between one style and the other, and that's all, no more magic. I have just one more thing. I think that I'm on time, but just two things to mention. Oh, I think that I closed this. Okay, give me. One is the tiling window manager. That is an addition that's not part of none of the images. You have to download by your own. And it's an interesting feature. I don't know how it's going to work with the, well, hey, it works. As you can, I think that we have a network issue that impidió que se cargara. Okay. There are some words that I don't know how to say in English, you know. So I wanted to show this tiling window manager that is available under appearance, and I will enable this. And it's this stuff that you can see here, right? And the interesting part of this is that it allows you to arrange automatically some windows on your desktop. And the other thing interesting is that you can manage several words, right? Second word. So you can, it's like window, like Linux desktops, right? That you can have multiple with different windows in each of them, right? So I think that's all, people. Let me check. There was one more thing that I wanted to mention. I'm not using it, but it's a very promising project that is already working called Short Ways. You can search for this on Quicksource. It's to customize shortcuts on Pharo. Maybe if you are used to use another environment and you want to keep the same shortcuts, you can install this stuff and customize the shortcuts in an easy way using the settings browser. Well, that's all, folks. Thank you. Well, there's my contact information, and now I have to perform an acting to invite Mariano, because you can imagine, if each time you download a new image, you want to apply all this custom stuff, it can be boring, right? So there is a way to customize this, to automate these customizations. And that's the topic of Mariano talk. So come here, man. Thank you. Bye-bye.